In this presentation, I'll tell you about the electronic banking solution for Dynamics 365 Business Central. The solution that streamlines payment and bank statement reconciliation in Business Central and provides interfaces to your banks. During this presentation, I'll focus on the key issues. First, I'll provide you with some background information about the features for payment and electronic banking in the standard Business Central functionality. Then I'll describe the concept and structure of our solution and give you an overview of its functional and process enhancements, highlighting some extra features. I'll also explain the connectivity options, that is how you can connect Business Central with your banks. Before I finish, I'll summarize the key benefits of the application, and finally I'll tell you how you can get our app. So let's start with a short overview of Business Central. Actually, Business Central does not offer any dedicated functionality area for electronic banking. In Business Central, you use the bank account card page with some communication details for a bank, and also set up for the posting group as a control account, and transfer details that include IBAN, SWIFT, and bank statement payment file formats. Processing and posting is based on the payment journal, which is a collection of outstanding vendor and employee entries. The payment journal does not provide many customized setup options, which has influence on the bank statement reconciliation process. For data exchange, you actually need to use external services to send or import bank data, which means higher costs. Moreover, this means that you need to entrust your data to an external service provider. Nowadays, most companies use multiple bank accounts, both locally and internationally. Companies usually cooperate with different vendors and employees working worldwide. Some companies with multiple locations in the world also need to connect with different banks. In such global companies, one location is often used as a payment factory and pays invoices for all subsidiaries. In all these cases, companies need an efficient process for electronic banking. They need standardized flow for processing data, no matter where it comes from. For this, they need more custom features to adjust the process to their needs and manage payments efficiently. Such an approach enhances automation and security. Companies also need to have control over the processes, owing to possibility to set up user roles, approval steps, and so on. Definitely, what's also important is connecting Business Central with local banking systems, and this also means the need to support different file formats and other connectivity options such as web services or API. With all these needs in mind, we have developed our electronic banking solution for Business Central. It consists of the electronic banking base app, which is the core of the solution, and integrated electronic banking extensions that include interfaces for banks in a specific country. This means that for each country, a separate extension is developed. Now let me provide with more details about the core application, electronic banking base app. The application contains the full extended functionality and process flow. It also ensures standardization within payment and bank statement application, reconciliation processes for companies that operate globally. It also allows you to run and try out the whole process based on the SEPA format, which is the standard format also used within Business Central, the variety of this format. It's also ready to connect with different interfaces and process data sent from different banks. Now let's focus on functional and process enhancements in electronic banking base app and compare it to the standard functionality. Speaking about the functionality, we should compare it with the standard functionality. So the standard functionality in Business Central is based on the payment journal. In the payment process, the payment journal contains unsettled entries for vendors and employees, but does not have many setup options. In the case of the electronic banking base app, the transfer orders are sent as payment proposals. In addition to payments for vendors and employees, payment proposals can be used for payments to customers, for example, for credit notes. Payment proposals can be created on the basis of predefined templates where you connect the application with your bank, and also directly from selected entries. And of course, you can also define user roles and also workflow and approval steps. In the standard process, data from a bank that is sent in bank statement is also processed via external services. In the case of IT.integro solution, the exchange of data is managed within a banking interface with the setup for a given bank within our extension. The bank statement is reconciled and applied with outstanding entries in vendor, customer, and employee ledgers on the basis of archived payment proposals. If not all entries are settled, you can still use the auto-match mechanism or just reconcile the entries manually. Entries are also posted after the reconciliation, not as in the case of the standard application right after sending the payment. The standard approach sometimes requires you to cancel a general journal posting if the bank actually has not paid for the invoice. Summing up, we can list the following enhancements: payment proposals with payment proposal templates, where you can decide about your custom settings, archive payment proposals that are used in the bank statement reconciliation process. Of course, improved automated bank statement application, user roles with payment proposals, with a payment proposal and bank statement processing. Also transfer order priorities depending on payment amounts and contractors. And electronic banking register where you can view all your transactions and track them. As for data exchange, each bank in a country can use different file formats. Formats like SEPA also have different variations. Besides, a bank can use different formats in each country. Electronic banking has been designed to support different file formats, such as CSV, XML, MT, and other specific for banks, and also web services and API-based communication. Electronic-based app is the core of the solution, but it has to be connected to bank systems. For this purpose, you need the electronic banking extension. Electronic banking extensions are the apps that ensure connectivity to banking systems. They are developed per country and contain interfaces to different banks in a specific country. They can also support requirements that result from bank regulations in a country. Optionally, they can be provided with electronic banking integrator to ensure integration with local functionality app. We have a dedicated development team working on interfaces. So far, in the course of our projects, we have developed several interfaces for banks in countries such as France, Belgium, the Netherlands, and Poland. Before I finish and tell you how you can get our apps, I would like to highlight the key benefits of our applications. So definitely it's standardization of the core process, which is important for companies operating globally. It's also flexibility to connect extensions with interfaces to different banks. Automation, which is achieved thanks to the possibility to define your setup. And automation means less error that result from manual entry of payments and reconciliation. It's also better control over the process with user roles and workflow steps. This all means security and also translates into improved quality and increased productivity within your financial operations. As for availability of our apps, the good news is that the electronic banking base app is completely free. You can download it and test it to see how productive the process is. The application is available on AppSource. AppSource, as you probably know, is a platform where Microsoft partners publish their apps. Availability on AppSource means that the application has undergone detailed validation and has Microsoft certification. Now we are also working on launching our electronic banking extensions to AppSource. First, it will be an extension for Poland. This should be available within a month. But our dedicated team is also working on other interfaces for other countries. So if you need any specific interface and you need to connect with your banks, please contact us. As for our pricing model, the fee for extensions will be based on the number of banks used in a given country. This brings me to the end of my presentation. For more details, please refer to our docs site where we publish user documentation, and you can read about the features and the concept of our solution. Thank you very much for listening.